We continue our coverage of the World Economic Forum, as we all know, currently underway in Davos. And earlier, our senior anchor, Alicia Seckham, spoke to, Bronwyn Nielsen spoke to Reserve Bank Governor and AngloGold, former Reserve Bank Governor that is, and AngloGold Ashanti Chairman Tito Mboweni. Let's take a listen.
Let's start with some of the key themes that you see unfolding here at Davos 2013. Anything that's radically changed your thought process?
Well, there are a few interesting things that are happening here. I think the critical thing, though, is the realization that we might be gradually coming out of the global economic difficulties. Europe is coming out of the recession and the difficulties. I think that's encouraging. We see major attempts by European leaders to implement structural reforms. And if those can begin to be implemented in a place like Italy, it means we're really doing very well. There are interesting signs that the global economy will perform much better this year if one looks at the forecasts which were issued by the IMF during the course of the week. That's encouraging. And I think generally people are more optimistic. The resilience of the world economy, the resilience of global institutions, the resilience of the ordinary people of the world are issues which are coming out of the conversations here.
Obviously, key to you is the mining industry in your position as chairman of AngloGold Ashanti, and it's certainly taking center stage when it comes to conversations around Africa. The issue of labor tensions, particularly in South Africa, labor tensions with employers. We have seen Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan moving swiftly to allay fears on that front, saying that government is going to come to a quick resolution. How are you feeling about the situation in your position?
Well, fortunately, I'm chairman of a global company, so I look at issues not just locally but globally. We've got different challenges in Argentina, different challenges in the DRC, in Ghana, in Australia, in the United States.
In Mali? Mali is also taking center stage right now.
In Guinea.
Are you concerned about the situations in Mali, Tito?
We're very concerned about the situation in Mali. I think the escalation of the violence there is not very good for business, and we appeal upon the political leadership and all concerned to ensure that we see some speedy political resolutions to the fundamental issues which give rise to these sorts of tensions and fighting. But coming back to the South African labor issues, I'm quite convinced that through negotiations we should be able to return to a labor market framework which respects procedure, which respects legality, which is peaceful. And I think that's what you need, and I hope that in the conversations which are going to be taking place, these basic principles, which are actually enshrined in our Labour Relations Act, can be returned to and implemented.
Talking about our Labour Relations Act, when you look at the World Economic Report on competitiveness, from a labour rigidity perspective, the firing and hiring of labourers, we rank 143 out of 144. And labour rigidity has also been cited as one of the key causes of high levels of youth unemployment, leading to situations such as the Arab Spring in North Africa. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean,
do we need a more flexible labour environment?
Well, we need labour market flexibility throughout the world. But from where I sit, as a chairman of a global company, I experience labour market reforms of different proportions in different countries. Labour market rigidities, flexibilities, all over the place. Let me give an example. In Argentina, our mine is Cerro Vanguardia, is in the Santa Cruz province, state, in Patagonia. Down south there was very cold. We are not allowed there to employ any other labour except those from Santa Cruz. I mean, that's serious rigidity of the labour market. And yet most mine workers in Argentina come from the north of Argentina. For us to employ the labour from north of Argentina, we have to pay a levy to the local state for that. So I think that different variations of labour market.
But we're dealing with the same issues globally. We are dealing with the same issues
and I
globally.
think leadership means that one has to be in a position to be able to negotiate and come to agreement with labour, business, government, and all other stakeholders. And there are many issues which always require discussion and negotiation.
There's one other theme unfolding here at Davos. Well, there are many themes, but another key theme is how we get leadership to, and this is leadership in both government and in business, to balance short-term profits, short-term politics with long-term sustainable commitment. Is it possible, or are we fighting a losing battle here?
No, it has to be possible. But I must say that one of the things which has surprised me, not that I didn't know about it, but it has surprised me when I joined the private sector, is that there's a lot of short-termism there. This thing about quarterly performance, quarterly bonuses, and things like that, I think it's not very helpful. And I think we need to drive the thinking that it's important to plan medium to long term. Of course, shareholders want to see the value of their investments increasing, being unlocked. They want to see better dividends, but also communities in which we operate want to see an improvement in social investment where they live. So there are competing needs, competing demands on business, but I think we can balance this in a rational and debatable way which benefits all stakeholders.